Let's have a conversation today, man. Would you want to play with LeBron? As an NBA all-star level player, would you want to play with LeBron? This is the question that Nonstop Sports tried to answer today. The downsides of playing with LeBron. Links to their video will be in the description. There has been a decent amount of talking points regarding this. Honestly, specifically with Bronny, who by the time this video has released may have been drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers already. So we'll see.
While LeBron James's GOAT status will always be debatable, there is zero doubt about one thing. He's the most scrutinized NBA player ever. Yeah. From the time LeBron was 16 years old, he was dealing with enormous expectations.
LeBron James has captured the attention of fans, scouts, and opponents.
Nobody endured more media pressure, and nobody had so many of their jerseys set on fire. And unfortunately, that scrutiny spills over to everyone around him. Having LeBron on your team is great, but it comes with tons of pressure because you are immediately expected to win. And if you don't, you're torn to pieces.
Honestly, it's a gift and a curse with playing with Bron. Like, I love Bron to death. I love playing on this team because for me, I feel like I thrive more under the pressure. But a lot of guys don't like it because, so it's always going to be that supporting cast of who's not doing what or who, you know, and if you're not built for that, you're not made for that, it's going to eat you alive.
And let me just say this before we get started with the video. I think LeBron, obviously, again, arguably the GOAT. More than ever, I'm warming up to him just being my GOAT, being completely honest. But I do think there's so many reasons as to why a team can fail and succeed. And I think when it comes to acquiring LeBron James, signing LeBron James, the problem most of the time is just accelerating rebuilds, accelerating the process of building a team with continuity, building a team with depth, that even LeBron has admitted to himself was a reason as to why the 2011 Heat did not win that first year. On top of him not playing as well as he should have, it's just when you sign LeBron, you are in win now mode from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Because typically, you know, the typical process of winning a championship is you draft your guys, right? You build around them properly. You make big-time trades as their careers go along. You know, you look at the Celtics, you look at the Thunder, right? And then you get to a point where your guys are ready for the big moment. And then they end up knocking the door down and they get to the mountaintop, and that's that. But with LeBron, most of the time, especially now, this is a guy trying to win every single year who does not have time for players to develop. And every single year, there's just a lot of pressure playing with this dude. I also think on the other side of things, though, LeBron has been kind of hoed with a lot of the teams that he's played for because from a coaching perspective, for some weird reason, a lot of these front offices with the mentality that once we get LeBron, we're trying to win a championship right now, they always try to pair him with like inexperienced head coaches for some reason. Eric Spoelstra obviously worked out and has proven to be arguably the best coach in the league right now. But at that time, I don't necessarily blame LeBron for having pushback towards, this dude's only been a coach in the league for like 2 years. I don't think he's our guy if we're trying to win right now, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that mentality, which is honestly ironic now that he wants JJ, but we'll get into that shortly. And then after that, he goes back to Cleveland, and it's David Blatt, who's, again, never coached in the NBA before. May have been a head coach overseas, but in the NBA, there's still differences there. And then he gets fired after year one. And then you bring in Ty Lue, again, a guy who's never been a head coach in the league. Again, he worked out in 2016, but by the end of that, I remember the conversations we were having with Ty Lue. A lot of y'all thought he was ass. Bro. And then we got to the Lakers, and was it Luke Walton year one? I believe it was Luke Walton year one. They got Frank Vogel, which I do think is a proper head coach, which they won a championship with. But then you fire Frank Vogel and you bring in Darvin Ham. Again, a coach who's never been a head coach for a team ever in his life. And then you fire Darvin Ham, and then you bring in a coach who's truly never been a head coach in his life at an elite level with men. So Now, does LeBron play a factor in that with the whole GM conversations? That's another component of it as well. But, we still got a video to watch.
While a lot of difficulties of having LeBron on your team comes from the fans and the media, some of it comes from LeBron himself. Coaches getting fired, cryptic tweets aimed at management, and the danger of getting traded by Le GM are always a possibility when the Kings'
Y'all think that GM shit is real, though?
Are not met. But are the downsides of playing with LeBron greater than other superstars? Is James really a bad teammate? Or does this just come with the territory of playing with an all-time great? Well, it depends on who you ask and who you compare him to. Michael Jordan once punched Steve Kerr in the face during practice. Kobe was constantly berating his teammates if they didn't perform and refused to pass them the ball. Shaq wasn't really a sweetheart either. These guys were not saints. Yet people rarely questioned their teammates' skills because people from that era didn't care about teammates being nice to each other. And those anecdotes of heated practices only fueled the legend of Kobe and MJ as perfectionists and basketball killers. But when it comes to LeBron, everything is under a magnifying glass, especially after the decision. During his first stint in Cleveland, LeBron was universally loved by everyone.
Lewis gets it to LeBron for three.
I don't buy everyone. Celtics fans hated him.
For the win, yes! LeBron James at the buzzer!
And he was viewed as a savior for the city that hadn't won anything in over 40 years.
I always let LeBron know they love you right now. They love you right now. But please believe me, the first incident, the first time something happened, they are waiting, man. They're waiting, man. They're waiting. They're waiting, man.
But as the season...
And honestly, that's not something unique to LeBron, bro. I think it's anyone that reaches superstardom, bro. Like real superstardom, there's always an angle. Once you get to a point where especially in the social media age, where everyone got a voice, everyone got a angle that they're looking at you in a different way, bro, there's always going to be a pretty big group of people that's going to think sideways of you for one reason or another.
Seasons went on and a championship wasn't won, the first haters started to appear.
He's the fake MJ. He can't stand up to the pressure. The higher the expectations, the worse he performs.
And then, when the King decided to take his talents to South Beach...
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
It was like...
And it's so crazy that these were the discussions being had pre-2011, because we're talking about a dude that was 25, 26, bro. I think that's the worst part of the one and done, especially like the high school to NBA pipeline era, is you get these high level prospects and they're shoved in your face right away. And they're shoved in your face for such a long period of time because they come into the league so young that we have these extremely high expectations for 25, 26-year-olds to figure it out. When in eras past, these guys came in at age 22, 23. So by the time they're 26, technically it's only year 3, year 4, and they still got time in the league. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy like LeBron, by 2011, that's year 8 for him, year 9. You know what I'm saying? Unless year 7, year 8. Same thing for a guy like Jason Tatum and the hate that he's gotten. Like, bro, motherfucker's 26. And I understand he's been to a bunch of conference finals and has been to the finals already leading up to these NBA finals. But, bro, like, damn. Can we give these dudes time? Damn.
Like he opened the gates of hell. Within seconds, he went from one of the most loved to one of the most hated athletes on the planet.
There's no way that you could possibly prepare for something like this.
And it all coincided with the invention of the smartphone, the rise of social media, and the popularity of the debate shows. The NBA news cycle was running 24/7, and the main target was LeBron. The 2010-2011 Miami Heat were arguably the most hated team of all time. And the Kings' first game back in Cleveland was complete horror.
I would never forget the Cleveland game, the first time we went back to Cleveland. And that was the time where I looked at LeBron and I was like, hey, this guy's he's not normal. He's really not normal. I've always said it, but I really felt it. But the hatred that I heard in the locker room, and it wasn't just boos and it wasn't just I hate you, it was the look on people's faces. It was the things that was coming out of their mouths and like how raged they were, like in anger. That I said, I will never forget this moment in day in my life.
For the first time.
Oh, that was Boston. Nah, let me chill. Let me stop bringing Boston into this, man. Nah, man. Yeah, I remember that time, man. I used to be a really big LeBron hater, bro. Like I used to, especially as a Celtics fan. Again, I'm not trying to bring him in, but back Like, dude, I hated the concept of what LeBron did, because I understand it has been one up by KD, but back then, bro, teaming up, like, on your own volition, not a request a trade, oh, they just sent me here, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I understand you can kind of control where you go, but the idea of teaming up in free agency with 2 other top 15 players in that fashion, also you being who you are supposed to be, being this MJ level player, and, you know, comparing him to MJ, who never left his team, Kobe, who never left his team. You know, this is still the era where, like, we was gassing up Paul Pierce, we was gassing up Dirk Nowitzki, we was gassing up all these dudes that stayed with just one franchise, Tim Duncan. It was like, damn, bro, so you just quit, huh? So you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think you're good enough. Like, you just stacked the deck in your favor. Obviously, in hindsight, very naive mindset, but at that time, bro, that was the mentality.
It seemed like LeBron wasn't equipped to deal with the pressure, and his unhappiness led to one of his first Le GM moves. After the Heat went 9-8 at the start of the season, LeBron didn't trust their young and inexperienced coach, Erik Spoelstra, and the King wanted him gone. James went into Pat Riley's office and asked the Heat's president if he would fire Spo and take over the team, but Riley refused, believing that Spo was the best guy for the job.
We got a great young coach here, and I want to support him, hope that he can can grow like I did.
And on top of getting booed in almost every arena, and James questioning the coach's authority, LeBron's teammates had to get used to the fact that every bad pass, every missed shot was overanalyzed. Professional trolls such as Skip Bayless are something that athletes have become accustomed to now, but back in 2011, this was still viewed as serious journalism and something that should be addressed. Bayless kept calling Chris Bosh Spice, and it got so bad that Chris even went on Bayless's show to confront him.
My thing is, my family, we take a lot of pride in our name. I don't like it being made fun of.
Bosh used to dominate the paint and was a 20-10 guy on the Raptors, but when he teamed up with LeBron and D-Wade, he was forced to adjust and play in a limited offensive role, which is not easy for a star player. Still, the Heat made the 2011 finals, but LeBron played the worst basketball of his career.
Shot clock down to 7. James, that's a travel.
I think the conversation about LeBron too is, like, again, a whole gift and a curse conversation, because LeBron James is so impactful to a team that he is simultaneously, at any given moment, the biggest reason for their success, but also one of the biggest reasons for their failure. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're about to, like, this sounds something, all right, if we're about to credit Le GM for being Le GM when it's good, we also got to keep that same smoke when he's making these bad moves. You know what I'm saying? I also think the problem with LeBron ever since he's left Miami is that he's been focused too much on just teaming up with players and not really focused on, again, the coaching situation in the places that he's going into and how good these front offices are, right? Because when he went back to Cleveland, it was just on the premises of, oh, we can get K-Love over here, Kyrie's over there. You know, we'll put aside the beef that I got with the front office. Let's just make this work. When he went to L.A., it was the idea of, all right, stay with us 1 year, we're going to get AD, and we're going to build a proper team that way. But and I think this is what was special with the Miami era and why that worked to the tune that it did, was because of Pat Riley. Pat Riley was a dude that didn't take shit from anyone, even if you are LeBron. Pat Riley was a dude that said, yo, Erik Spoelstra's our coach. I'm going to do my job. Erik Spoelstra's going to do his job. LeBron, you go out there and play. Period, point blank. And it produced, arguably, the most dominant years of LeBron's career, when he didn't have to worry about coaching, when he didn't have to worry about, front office moves, when he didn't have to worry about all these things. It was just, LeBron, go out there and play basketball. Period.
To the delight of Skip Bayless and all the online haters. And as the pressure mounted, some of his teammates started to feel the wrath of LeBron. And nobody had it like Mario Chalmers. Rio was a constant target of LeBron's yelling. And it seemed like as soon as he made any mistake, LeBron would yell at him or raise his arms in disbelief. But Chalmers wasn't the only one who needed to adapt. Bosh and Wade had to change their game the most, completely transforming to adapt to LeBron. And thankfully for the Heat, it worked. After 2 consecutive titles, the pressure decreased. They weren't booed anymore, Chalmers wasn't yelled at all the time, and nobody was calling them bums on a daily basis. However, as soon as the Heat lost in the 2014 finals, it all came back with a vengeance, and Bosh and Wade were called washed up after only 1 bad series. And that's the burden of playing with LeBron. If you're not shooting the ball well for 2 or 3 games, it's enough for people on social media to start calling you a bum and saying you can't play. And while Bosh and Wade were all-stars accustomed to criticism, some of the younger players had never had that type of attention before LeBron's arrival. The LeBron James effect multiplies everything. And while your social media following may increase tenfold because you made an alley-oop to LeBron, so will your haters. But after 4 finals appearances in Miami, LeBron decided to right the wrong, vowing to bring a championship to Cleveland.
So someone had this theory that, like, LeBron would have had a more successful career from a winning perspective if he wasn't as versatile as he was. And low-key, I see it. I think if LeBron just committed to being a scorer, because we all, like, LeBron already, being as versatile as he is a 27-point-per-game scorer, 28-point-per-game scorer. I think if LeBron, instead of being a 27, 7, and 7 dude, was like a 33, 6, and 9 dude, he may be more impactful. Or if he committed to the passing part of his game more and was a 22, 12, and 8 dude, like, I feel like the conversations would be a little different. And the reason why I'm saying this now is because I think LeBron James is the closest example we can get to heliocentric offense winning a championship, even though, you know, these teams weren't as heliocentric as, I don't know, like James Harden's Rockets, right? I think they're the closest example to a heliocentric offense. And if you consider them, hey, be my guest, right? And I think in a heliocentric offense, the problem is yes, you are maximizing this megastar offensive player that you got. But what that doesn't allow for is a team personnel where the other guys can get involved properly. I think we saw that in these last year's finals, right? Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks heliocentric offense. You know, if that's the offense that you run, you get a lob threat, you get corner shooters, you get defensive bigs and defensive wings that can maybe put the ball on the floor, but at the end of the day, you got your role and you stick to it, right? What that allows, but what that allows defenses to do is, yo, we gonna let LeBron get his. We're gonna lock in on everyone else, and now the scoreboard is gonna be, LeBron had 35, 10, and 10, but then J.R. Smith was 2 of 16. Why? Maybe it's because the defensive game plan was, all right, LeBron, go get yours. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna single coverage you. You know, if we can make it tough on you on single coverage, that'd be fantastic. But if you cook, you cook. But what we're not gonna do is allow, you know, J.R. Smith to get involved. What we're not gonna do is allow Kevin Love to get involved. All of these dudes, Tristan Thompson to get involved. LeBron, go ahead, go cook. Right? So it's again, the whole conversation with playing with LeBron James truly is defined by a gift and a curse.
And before he even announced that he was returning to the Cavaliers, the GM was already in full effect. I'm excited to lead some of these talented young guys. I think I can help Kyrie Irving become one of the best point guards in our league. I think I can help elevate Tristan Thompson and Dion Waiters. You'll notice that LeBron never mentioned Andrew Wiggins or Anthony Bennett in that PR statement, and that's because he already knew they would be traded for Kevin Love, a move orchestrated with his blessing. However, when the 2015 season started, the Cavs struggled the same way the Heat did when LeBron arrived. The new pieces had to get accustomed to playing together, especially Dion Waiters and Kevin Love. Waiters never figured out how to be effective without the ball, and he got traded very early in the season. Love wasn't in tune with LeBron both on and off the court, and that's when James posted one of the most infamous cryptic tweets of his career, aimed at K-Love. But other than the misfit with Love, LeBron also never got on the same page with head coach David Blatt. Throughout the season, James was the one who called timeouts and made substitutions.
Damn.
He openly barked at Blatt after decisions he didn't like. He huddled frequently with assistant coach Ty Lue, often looking at anyone other than Blatt. Still, despite all the turmoil and the injuries to Kyrie and Kevin Love, LeBron was by far the best player in the league. And other than Durant, nobody was even near his level. The Cavs made the finals, and surprisingly, they even won 2 games with Timofey Mozgov and Matthew Dellavedova as some of their key contributors. But even with 36, 13, and 9 from LeBron, the Warriors had too many weapons, and they finally overcame the shorthanded Cavs in 6 games. After that loss, both LeBron and the Cavs knew they needed to make some moves. First, they fired head coach David Blatt mid-season, despite Cleveland having the second-best record in the East. But Blatt had no authority over LeBron, who openly disrespected and disobeyed him, while Blatt kept silent. Eventually, he lost the locker room and had to leave. In his place came Ty Lue, who was LeBron's guy all along, and who James wanted to become the head coach for months. And while the GM David Griffin wasn't especially keen on trading for Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith, LeBron gave him the assurances that he would keep J.R. in check. On top of the superstar power LeBron already had, at the time, he made an unprecedented habit of signing one-year deals. All athletes wanted the long-term security of a multi-year deal, but LeBron wasn't all athletes. Like a queen on the chessboard, the king was controlling and manipulating everything.
And again, that's a part of the problem is when you don't have stability with your franchise on like, okay, this motherfucker's committed to us for X amount of years, that just makes things iffy. You know what I'm saying? The front office is always hedging. Okay, I mean, we got to prepare for the worst. We got to prepare for the worst instead of just, okay, you're committed to us for 3 years. We're locking in. At least in this era. Obviously, these last couple of years, LeBron has just committed to long deals and just played it through. But
deliberately signing shorter deals to give him flexibility, earn him more money, and, maybe most importantly, give him leverage. At any given moment, LeBron could say that he didn't want to stay in Cleveland and that he'll leave as a free agent again. The threat of him leaving was such a powerful tool that GM David Griffin had no choice but to make moves like LeBron wanted. And at first, it proved to be a good thing. The GM got it right because both J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert played key roles in the Cavs' route to the championship after they became the first team to come back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals. But after the 2016 finals, LeBron signed another one-year deal with a player option, and he had more demands for his GM. He first pressured the team to sign Tristan Thompson and later J.R. Smith to long-term deals. His stranglehold on the Cavs resulted in them forking over more than $130 million to pay Thompson and Smith, which hurt the team tremendously. Thompson averaged just 7 points and 8 rebounds in the 3 seasons after receiving his extension. And after averaging 12.4 points for the Cavs in the 2015-16 season, Smith recorded just 8.4 points per game in his next 2 years with James. And after they lost the 2017 finals to the Warriors, Kyrie decided to leave because he didn't want to live in LeBron's shadow. The Cavs quickly traded him for an injured Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder, in a move that LeBron was never happy about. To make it up to the king, the Cavs also added Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose, but neither of those moves really worked. So, at the 2018 trade deadline, trying desperately to improve the team and please their superstar, the Cavs spent several draft picks and mortgaged their future as nearly half the roster got traded.
See what I'm saying? Like 2018 is the perfect example of, okay, we got LeBron, we gotta win now, this is not proper team building, bro. This is you not having security in your mega superstar and just doing everything and anything to make it work. Because if it doesn't work, he's going to leave. And again, LeBron, fantastic player, tremendous player. But when it comes to the conversation around building around a player, there are things that LeBron James does that just makes it harder than, building around a Jokic, building around a Jason Tatum, building around a Giannis Antetokounmpo. And even Giannis is getting into that territory with what I've heard about him and the coaching situation where, bro, just let us do our work. God damn, now we got to make these panic trades and trade Drew for Dame? Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing? As much criticism as I give Joel Embiid for always being injury prone, I will say that is one thing I can never take away from Joel Embiid. He has, from day one, been committed to the 76ers process. The 76ers always know what their focal point is for the upcoming future. They just haven't done the right moves in order to surround Joel Embiid with a proper cast. And also, again, Joel Embiid's injury has been a hindrance for them. But Joel Embiid has always been the rock. He's always been there. You never question if he was going to leave or not. Now, these upcoming years, maybe that's going to be a different case. But it's also a case of, damn, bro, like, damn, it's year 12 for me, man. I've been the rock for a minute now.
And even though LeBron did his part on the court, playing maybe the best basketball of his entire career during the playoffs,
James up and under, throws it off the backboard. Oh, what a perfect pass.
they couldn't get past the Warriors in the finals. JR forgot the score in Game 1.
Hill misses. Rebound goes to the Cavs. J.R. Smith brings it back out. Throws it to Hill. Hill shot blocked.
And LeBron's 51-point game had gone to waste, after which it was clear that this team was already past its peak. LeBron had pretty much held the franchise hostage for years, with the unstated threat that he might leave, and as a result, the Cavs made desperate, short-sighted decisions. Then, to add insult to injury, in the offseason, LeBron left Cleveland again, relocating to LA. And when he got to Hollywood, LeBron put on his GM hat yet again. For the entire 2019 season, LeBron knew the Lakers wouldn't contend for a title, and the entire time the King had been flirting with Anthony Davis, sending cryptic messages through the media and on Twitter. The locker room vibe was noticeably off, because Bron's teammates knew they could be getting traded at any moment. Also, the King's engagement on the court had been below par, especially on defense, where his effort and body language was disgraceful at times. At one point, Kyle Kuzma had to push LeBron to play defense.
See what they got. Gallo.
Big Kuz.
In what was a perfect example of a spoiled and uninspired superstar, and the microcosm of the entire Lakers 2019 season. But then, the GM finally got what he wanted, and Anthony Davis was traded to the Lakers. And just like that, LeBron started playing defense, and his body language improved. In their first season together, LeBron and AD led the Lakers to a championship, and the best general manager amongst players was proven right once again. However, James would soon make the biggest mistake of his GM career. After injuries to both AD and LeBron knocked them out of the 2021 playoffs, the Lakers felt they needed a roster upgrade. And even though they had the best defensive backcourt in the NBA in Alex Caruso, KCP, and Dennis Schroeder, they decided to move them all to acquire Russell Westbrook.
And this right here is the epitome to me of the LeBron James experience and what you need to be as a front office when you're signing LeBron James. Apparently, allegedly, LeBron and AD were big favors of signing Russell Westbrook. Now, the front office of LA, being the yes men that they are, if y'all fuck with it, let's rock with it. Like this. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of holding LeBron accountable. It's like, I understand Russell Westbrook. Once he got there, he played like shit. You know, hold Russell Westbrook for playing like shit when he plays like shit. But it's also like, bro, you greenlit this. And as a front office, you just went along with what the players wanted. Like, yo, front office, do your fucking job, you know?
Because LeBron wanted to play with him. Russ on the Lakers proved to be an abomination.
Russ, nearly loses it. With 5, with 4. Russ drives. Oh, it's underneath. And the Lakers are going to lose it.
He took the ball out of LeBron's hands, killed floor spacing, and played the worst defense the NBA had ever seen from the highest paid player. During the 2022 trade deadline, LeBron took a shot at GM Rob Pelinka for not making any moves by praising other general managers. But it wasn't like Rob could really do anything. Westbrook's contract was untradeable, and the Lakers missed the playoffs, after which coach Frank Vogel lost his job. Fast forward to the 2023 trade deadline, when the Lakers were heavily linked to Kyrie Irving, who was seeking a trade out of Brooklyn. But after Irving signed with the Mavs, James posted 3 words that were aimed at Los Angeles' inability to get the deal done for Irving. Then, after a year and a half, the Westbrook saga and suffering was finally over.
What if he's talking about Savannah chat? Wouldn't that be
and Rob Pelinka produced a miracle that actually made the Lakers into a title contender. However, during the 2024 deadline, LeBron was at it again, posting subtle and not so subtle messages. By tweeting an emoji of an hourglass on January 30th ahead of the February 8th trade deadline, he created another tsunami of rumors. Does James want to be traded? Is he twisting the Lakers' arm to make a big move? Is he implying he might opt out of his $51.4 million player option for the 24-25 season? Unbothered, James seemingly enjoyed the drama. When asked if he wanted to clarify the tweet, he simply said no, because James is the king of using cryptic messages to his advantage. In fact, just a few days after his hourglass tweet, James poured gas on the rumors, responding to a tweet of an apple emoji with a crown and the Statue of Liberty, leaving people wondering if he wanted to play for New York. Then he wore a Knicks towel in a post-game interview the next day. But unlike the previous years and past GMs, Rob Pelinka didn't want to budge and tether around LeBron anymore. For better or worse, LA didn't make a single trade at the 2024 deadline, deciding to keep their assets for the future.
If that's the reason why they didn't make a trade, though, wallahi.
If
To
you
stick
can
it to
handle,
LeBron, bro.
LeBron coming to your team, then it works out for you and it can be successful. The problem is that everybody can't handle it. When LeBron comes to your team, there's winning expectations. Ain't no 4 or 5 years process.
Yeah.
Ain't none of that. The pressure is on, and if y'all don't win, he ain't the one that's gonna be out of there. It'll be you.
During LeBron's career on 3 different teams, the organizations have traded 118 players and first-round picks, which is a whopping 83 more than Michael Jordan. Some of it is due to longevity, as LeBron has played 5 seasons more than Jordan did. And some of it comes
we're also in the player movement era, but you can also credit that to LeBron.
down to the modern age, where picks and players are traded much more frequently. But like any great player in NBA history, LeBron will do whatever it takes to win. He puts his teammates on the biggest stages of their career and gives them every opportunity to be great. But that comes with a lot of pressure, which doesn't suit everyone. Thanks for watching Nonstop.
I feel it, though. Great points being made. Again, shout out to LeBron. He's just not a perfect player, man. He's not a perfect player. As close as you can get in terms of on court, but in terms of building around him, there is a lot that comes with building around LeBron James, and I think UD put it perfectly at the end, bro. You either crumble under the pressure or succeed in it. That being said, shout out to Nonstop. Their video will be in the description down below. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.